Hello and welcome. I'm Chris Ryan.
I'm Maya Sanchez. This is All Access Sports, your source for local sports. And today we'll touch on a very important non-sports related issue. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And over the past week, a couple high school teams have supported the fight against breast cancer, honoring a former coach in the area who's currently undergoing treatment. And also on today's show, we've got the usual football, but as playoffs approach, wins are becoming more crucial.
Oh.
Okemos
Win or go home.
Yeah, exactly. Okemos goes one step further than last year, while Haslett tries to capitalize on any sort of momentum from its thriller last week. And we get a glimpse at elite Spartan basketball freshman class. It's the first time we get to see them since Moneyball tournament. But first, we'll start with the CAAC Gold Cup final. Last Tuesday, Haslett and East Lansing soccer walked onto the field at Mason High School to compete for the CAAC Gold Cup trophy. Haslett headed to this matchup after defeating rival Okemos 3-2 in the semis, while East Lansing topped undefeated Grand Ledge 6-5 in a penalty kick shootout. A back-and-forth first half ending scoreless looked nothing like the second. A Haslett goal kick ends up in Sam Levy's possession, who sets it to himself on the right and boots one past the goalkeeper into the left corner to put the Trojans up by 1. But they aren't safe yet. Vikings Joe Sparkat and Trojans goalkeeper Scott Campbell collide going for the ball. Shin Ishimura puts in the back of the net on a goal that would be annulled because of the foul on the keeper.
I don't care if I'm number 1 or 4. Right. You got to come in. This is a tough tournament. Haslett was on a roll. They played very well this year, and they knocked off some good teams. And we were able to put a good game together, and that's kind of nice. Yeah, fourth, it doesn't make any difference. You want to go out there and go as far as you can.
A turner of a shot by Petrus Martins goes deep in the same spot as the first goal, closing the game 2-0. The Trojans are handed the CAAC Gold Cup trophy, lifting it proudly and celebrating with a loud team chant. East Lansing entered the Gold Cup tournament seated 4th, but the Division II team proved why they're the #1 ranked team in Division II in the state.
Won the state title last year. You think they could do it again? Very stacked all the way around.
Exactly, and in the first game of the season, East Lansing actually gave up 5 goals to the Vikings.
They've come a long way.
Yeah, when the Vikings edged them out 5-4, and Archer said he filled in the gaps on defense, moving Nick Asham and Drew Person to play as center backs. And in order to continue the momentum at districts, he said he needs his team to come out of this one healthy. So, Coach, how does it feel to win the championship?
Feels good, real good. The Cup is, I think, one of the toughest tournaments around. We in our experience, we found that playing in the Cup, we need a rest after we're done. It is a tough 3-game grind. Yeah, a lot of good teams in there. Well, I hope we man momentum. We certainly don't want to let down. We're in the same district as as Haslett, but we have St. John's coming up before that, and then if we get past there, there's Eastern waiting. So, districts are full of upsets. So we don't want to be one of those.
The Cup was tough, but now comes the toughest part of the season, MHSAA Finals. And with the #1 spot in the rankings comes high expectations.
Well, you want to see if they can do it again. They did it last year. A lot of pressure on them. Haslett, though. Haslett soccer finished off its season at Holt on Thursday night, the regular season, right after the East Lansing game. The Vikings, with an early 1-0 lead, kept it with excellent ball control, dominating time of possession throughout the second half. Holt's shot attempts came few and far between, and Haslett rebounds with a victory to add some momentum into districts.
Still in every game, step by step, and that's what we've done. I think we've played better soccer every single game. We have to look back from the first game to now.
With playoff brackets already set, this game played as sort of an exhibition, but the Vikings cap off a regular season that showed incredible growth since its rough start in August. Districts are this week, so come back next week to see the start of potential Vikings run. And then on from football to football. Yes, Haslett football hoped to capitalize on any momentum left from its comeback victory over Mason a week ago Friday night at home. This game also Cancer Awareness Night, so the Vikings put on the pink. Williamston quarterback Jackson Pollock, he fakes the cleats right off the Vikings defenders and breaks a tackle to free fall into the promised land. A Haslett fumble on a kick return gets Pollock back in striking distance. He nails wide out sidebar net to make it 14-0. Bright spot for Haslett. Kicker Luke Ezzo provides some thunder with a 46-yard boom for 3, but only 3 there. Pollock would keep on going, puts a damper on any celebrations with a fake end-around bomb to Kerry Haney. And hey, it worked once, a little deja vu with another end-around fake, this time though back to Barnett, who keeps his balance to trot safely home. Barnett finishes with 11 catches, 187 receiving yards, and 3 touchdowns. Not to mention, he finished off those touchdowns with extra points, hitting 4 of 4 and a 35-yard field goal to boot. So pretty impressive right there. You got to think nomination for Player of the Week this week.
The Chieftains hosted Lansing Eastern in the Friday Night Lights, and Okemos entered the match with a 1-6 record. Not too good there. They searched for just their second win of the season against the 0-7 Quakers. The Chiefs up 7-0 in the start of the first, and the rest of the night goes as planned. A handoff to Chiefs star Dallas Williams. He carries it all the way down the field for another Okemos touchdown. It's 14-zip. The momentum doesn't stop. Okemos goes on to score again, and now we're into the second quarter. Quarterback Dominique Clerkley finds Patrick Nugent in the back and connects with him in the air to put Okemos up 28-0. Here's Williams again. He tries the left. It doesn't work just as well. He slides to the right, takes off running for a 35-yard touchdown just before the half, and that'll be the final touchdown of the night, folks. It's a 34-0 victory over Lansing Eastern. And Okemos achieves what they couldn't last year, 2 regular season wins.
Yeah, well,
That's
I mean,
awesome.
you gotta baby steps.
Yeah,
baby
improved
steps.
to 2-6.
And
so
they still have a couple more games left to go this year.
Exactly.
Could do even better than that.
Definitely. And moving on to volleyball, who also played under their own roof. Last time the Okemos volleyball team played at home, they swept Lansing Everett 3-0. And wanting a repeat of that win, the Chiefs knew it would be difficult as they host East Lansing. Both teams' only conference losses comes at the hands of Holt. So this match would decide what team would come in second in the CAAC Blue. Posters with blinking lights and senior night in the Ozone, that's how the Chiefs' second home volleyball game started. And the fun would keep going as East Lansing goes for the kill, but Sage Van Alstyne and Nishi Patel snag the block on the Trojans to win set 1, 25-22. Set 2 will be no different. The Chiefs go for the block, the ball goes over. Natalie Thome sets it, and senior Shania Miller puts it away with the kill, 25-14.
It was a really uplifting night, I think. Sometimes senior night can be emotional, which it was, but then I thought we rebounded very quickly, and East Lansing played really well in those first 2 sets. They kept the ball in play, they served tough. I thought we did a good job of serve-receive and then distributing the ball to a lot of different hitters. So we had a lot of kids who were in the kill category tonight.
To put the cherry on top of senior night, the Chiefs' libero Catherine Irwin receives the ball. Sydney Fountain sets it for Bree Deloy to score the final point in the 25-12 third set win and 3-0 sweep. Finishing second in the conference, Okemos will host the first game of the CAAC tournament tonight. And since it was senior night and Ryan Castle graduates this year, as we saw earlier this year, I caught up with her to see how she felt being back in full swing and heading into these tough games.
It feels really good to be back in the gym every day. It feels good to actually be able to play and then help my team on the court. It's been really fun and we're doing really good. Like the past 2 games we had this week have been really, really good. Good energy as a team, really good. We're putting the ball away and passing really good and just finishing the game.
Ryan Castle, of course, All Access Sports Player of the Week. Ryan Castle.
Right,
gotta say that. I think every time anyone announces or addresses her name, they have to say All Access Sports Player of the Week.
Exactly.
Ryan Castle. Just so that, you know,
queen.
yeah, that too. So a lot to, lot going on with
really
Okemos
good out
volleyball.
there. She is definitely a leader in the team, and she's moving them forward, being on the court as well as when she wasn't. So
love to see that.
Exactly.
Well, coming up next, the Spartan Dogs no longer represent that Michigan State D that they used to. We talk the worst performance in Coach D'Antonio's tenure, but we get a nice look. We get some nice relief as a promising MSU basketball team takes center stage when we come back to All Access Sports.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Welcome back. And on to Spartan football, like we said before the break. After a tough 31-14 loss to BYU on October 8th, the Spartans had another chance at home against Northwestern this last Saturday, October 15th. The biggest difference heading into this one was that Northwestern had already put up 12 sacks, MSU's only 5. Yeah. Big difference. But with linebacker Riley Bolo back on the field this time, could the Spartans turn this trend around and go back to 500? Game on, and redshirt freshman Brian Lewerke is the starting quarterback for the Spartans. He shows up and delivers with a 15-yard pass to Josiah Price in the end zone. Wildcats on offense, Justin Lane picks off this pass and widens the gap with a 43-yard interception return to touchdown. So far, so good for Michigan State, stopping the Wildcats game with authority and confidence right here. But Northwestern quarterback Clayton Thorson tries to hand off to Justin Jackson again, and this time the running back carries it 29 yards to end the Spartan streak. Another Northwestern touchdown, and the Spartan finds themselves on their own goal line. Joe Gaziano with the safety, he reaches Lewerke before the redshirt freshman can throw it away. Northwestern finishes the half on top 19-7. And it's still a close 2-point game. Malik McDowell with the help from freshman quarterback Josh Butler put up the team's 6th sack of the season. And after 2 more Northwestern touchdowns, Tyler O'Connor replaces Lewerke for the Spartans, almost throws an interception, but R.J. Sheldon catches the 59-yarder for his first touchdown of the day. And he follows that one with a second one, outrunning Wildcats' Alonzo Mayo on this 86-yard touchdown pass. Once again, Northwestern leads by only 2 points, 33-31. Solomon Volt turns on the Burners with a 95-yard kickoff return. It's a long way back, but Solomon makes it count, running it all the way back to the Spartan end zone. Soon after that, Jared McGee picks off the pass intended to Donnie Corley on his own 9-yard line. No gain on that, but they capitalize on the drive on a 26-yard run by Jackson to put the Wildcats at 47. A 9-yard pass to retaliate finds Corley to make the game 47-37. Still a 2-possession game. Northwestern makes it 3. Thorson throws for 29 yards, reaching his main receiver, Austin Carr, perfectly in the chest. The Wildcats top off the night with another sack, forcing the Spartans to kick a field goal and ending the night with a 54-40 win. A 4th straight loss for Michigan State, something that hasn't happened since 2006, and the very first 4-game streak in D'Antonio's career. Worsens the team's record to 2-4, and as always, D'Antonio starts the press conference with a statement on what he saw out on the field.
Just saying that we got to execute better. The reoccurring theme is, to me, is we let them back in the game. We've sort of got things squared away. You know, we're moving forward pretty good. You know, we're in the game. I mean, every one of these games, we're in the game. But we got to turn the corner and finish. And that's the bottom line. Got to find some way to finish, and whether that's a call, a play, whatever it is.
It was the first time in D'Antonio's Michigan State career that a team has put up at least 50 points against the Spartans. We've heard about the 55-14 loss to Nebraska under Nick Saban in 1996, but the Spartans were the #1 ranked team at that point. So I would say we all remember it, but I wasn't even 2. How old were you?
Maya, I think you may have remembered it. I think you saw that game. I was
in Brazil. I remembered it, right?
Not the best game for Michigan State back then. Not the best game last week either.
Exactly. But he also talked about Michigan State's offense, like we saw, who allowed 4 sacks on both Lewerke and O'Connor. Not good to continue there.
Well, I think right now, you know, it's too early for me to say anything. You know, I thought both guys obviously did some good things. Both guys obviously did some things they'd like to have back. So we'll look at it, evaluate it. But I do think that Lewerke gave us a spark initially in that first quarter. I thought he did some good things for a redshirt freshman coming in there, and he was exciting to watch. And I also think Tyler O'Connor went in there in the second half and showed his maturity as a person in handling what went down, and the reason why he was elected captain here, because I thought he came in there and did some really good things and passed for a bunch of yardage and 3 touchdowns. So we'll have to just evaluate and see where we go.
Like we saw there, and as we said, he gave no insight as to which quarterback will start this week against Maryland, which leads us to the preview. Chris, what do you think?
I think he better start Tyler O'Connor, because O'Connor played a fantastic game overall. Lewerke, once he got sacked for the safety early on, wasn't the same guy. He's young. If they want to win games this year, you put in the senior. Back again, he won at Notre Dame. He's won at Ohio State. And again, they've got Maryland coming up this week. Maryland has played an extremely easy schedule. They've come across 2 Big Ten opponents the last 2 weeks. and they didn't fare so well.
Exactly.
Blown out in both of those games. So while Michigan State has looked terrible, I like them to rebound against Maryland.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to touch a little bit on Maryland, like we haven't talked. Maryland's only losses, like you said, have been to Penn State and Minnesota, but I don't think those account to much when playing a ranked Michigan State team, but now we're talking about an unranked Michigan State team. The Terrapins coach, DJ Durkin's in his first year only, so he doesn't know his team as well as we would say D'Antonio knows.
Coming straight over from Michigan, though, he's got the credentials to.
So he does have the credentials, which, if anything, if it doesn't do anything else, it boosts up the team's confidence. You know, he has worked with Harbaugh, who has been very successul so far at Michigan. And one of Maryland's defensive tackles, Ezubuike Ukandu, has 5.5. I think that's how you say his name.
He's a powerhouse.
So sorry.
Yeah, he's great.
Has 5.5 tackles, which is half less than the total Michigan State tackles. Sacks. Sacks. He has 5.5 sacks. So we can see that Michigan State hasn't reached quarterbacks well at all. And this guy, we see him with almost the total amount of Michigan State's. But then again, we got to count for the whole team. And Michigan State has Riley Bolo back, who leads the team with 3 sacks right there, but he didn't get through to the Northwestern quarterback in his first appearance back, so we don't know what's going to happen there. He's coming back stronger, though. It was his first time back, and he's a leader off and on the field like we saw. And lastly, having started Brian Lewerke, I think Michigan State has 2 quarterbacks to work with now. They have Lewerke, who they saw can capitalize early in the game. He came out confident. He got the job done against Northwestern, who you saw has had very close games.
That defense,
against
though,
big teams.
That's the hard thing. I mean, O'Connor has that great game, but he came against that Northwestern defense, and the work he looked good against that defense too. You really don't know much.
So I think Michigan State can use that to their advantage. And they can use a redshirt freshman and a redshirt senior, depending on the situation, since they now know where Lewerke stands when he starts a game, when he has played a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. So what do you think?
I think for this game, I think, you know, all year, you said it earlier, we've said it each week, that Michigan State can't get pressure on opposing quarterbacks and they can't protect their own quarterback. Offensive line's really struggled.
Exactly.
Defensive line has really struggled. I put that into account in every game up to this Maryland game. This game, I just simply think Michigan State has too much talent against a talentless Maryland team. Like Mark D'Antonio as the coach, go with the coach, go with the more talented team. I know they're on the road, I know it's a night game, but I'm going Michigan State here. They put up, 40 last week against Northwestern. Don't see them getting any better than that. I'll give them 31, Maryland 27. So still a close one. I don't like them to blow out anyone the way they're playing, but I do like Michigan State.
And like you said, to me, I want to see Michigan State's defense getting through to the quarterback. And they can use this game if Maryland is, like we said, they are, with not as talented as we've seen. I want to see the defense practice that at least. And I think Michigan State can fix some of his issues, but not all of them. So I'm going to say Michigan State wins only by 7 late in the game, 28-21.
Okay. Now on to Michigan State basketball. Michigan State Madness at the Breslin last Friday night. WKAR's Al Martin MC's an energized night with drums, dancing soon here. The Michigan State Spartan women would first be introduced. But here's the women's basketball team showing off the moves. There's Tara McCutcheon, 3-time All-Access Sports Player of the Week. Tara McCutcheon. A little MJ tribute there by Morgan Green dazzles us. There's Ariel Powers making a special appearance and drafted into the WNBA, but then on for the boys, those are the freshmen. Langford right there. Cassius Winston running the point guard spot. And you got the big boy, you've got Ward. So, and then finally, Connor George representing Okemos.
Find a bunch of people that have a common goal, that want to accomplish some incredible things that most people think are unaccomplishable. And when you all work together, and this is where I hope our country will start doing it, everybody band together, everybody work together. my wife. And I'm going to put on the jacket that I'm going to wear for the next 8 or 10 years or so, and thank you, Stephen, because that jacket and that ring is either going to be worn in retirement or death. From now on, this is what you're going to see us in. They're going to run back and get changed. We're going to work, and we're going to try to do what we do at Michigan State. We're going to try to hang another banner on that side. And I promise you, we're going to work our ass off to hang another banner on that side.
So it's nice to see some positivity on the Spartan campus after this football season.
And Izzo always has a way of making people smile.
The night capped off with a scrimmage between the green and white, first women's team, then the men's. First off, the women, again, look at the freshman Tara McCutcheon take control of her squad. She'll run the point for the white team here. She dishes it to the junior Gusser, sets up Taya Raymer on the post. Raymer with the jumper. Brandy Agee put on a show. The top three-point shooter on this team from a season ago, now a redshirt senior. Then fellow senior Tori Jankowska shows her range to strike back. Now, on to the men. Elvin Ellis shows seniority, taking the first shot, nails the three ball. Then Aaron Harris, he take control of the whole night. He had the hottest hand on the night. Sharpshooter last year with no more Travis Trice. Look for Harris to be the go-to guy for the Spartans. And then right after this three ball, the young guys would get in on the action. Nick Ward, the 6'8", 250-pound frame, uses it so well. He's the big, dominant man on this roster. He owned that paint all night. And then finally, Miles Bridges would show off the athleticism. He just killed the vertical, and he gets the oop right there, just showing off some fantastic athleticism all night long.
It's great to see. Great to see the Spartan basketball team coming up, and preseason comes up in just a couple weeks, so we'll see where they go from there. And after the break, we'll go back to the CAAC Gold Cup for our High School Player of the Week. Chris' favorite part of the show.
Favorite part. And then my second favorite part.
And then yeah, Be the Referee will teach us about college and high school and time downs. And we have a couple more high school volleyball games. Holt and Haslett both use athletics as a platform to help those who are battling breast cancer. For the Vikings, it hit a little closer to home when a middle school teacher was diagnosed just this year. When we come back to All Access Sports.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Welcome back, Meridian. Now let's head out to Holt for some volleyball. The Lady Rams are hosting Jackson for their Volley for a Cure night. The stands packed for this Volley for a Cure matchup. Holt is leading 2-0. It's game 3. Sydney Stiles with the perfect pass to setter Alana Sunderman. Quick set and middle. Madison David kills it for another Holt point. Check out this volley. Jackson sets it up and the outside hitter swings. Holt back row keeps it going, and it's tipped over the net. Jackson tips it right back, and this is where Holt uses the ball to set up a play. Hannah Whiteman to Sunderman. She sets up Madison David, and she kills it again. Holt wins this one 3-0, but Coach wasn't too thrilled about the girls' play.
Overall, we did not play up to our potential that we normally do. We were off in our defense, and our offense, we just couldn't find the shots that we normally do. So they were moments of greatness, but definitely stuff to work on for this week.
Well, Holt comes out with a win, but the real story that night was the money the team was raising for breast cancer. They sold team t-shirts and had the JV girls run through the stands collecting money. So great to see there.
Yeah, and Holt wasn't the only school that helped support Breast Cancer Month. The Haslett Vikings volleyball team honored a very special former member of their program last Tuesday during their game against St. John's. Here's that story. a packed house, and a volleyball game to win. But the true meaning of this game was in between the lines. Behind the lines of the volleyball net.
This is a huge event for us. The community has pulled together to, support Mrs. Pringle here. Anything that we can do to help her out, is our #1 priority.
Haslett Middle School teacher and former high school volleyball coach Colleen Pringle was recently diagnosed with breast cancer and is currently undergoing treatment.
She's literally the nicest person you'll ever meet. She's so bubbly, happy. She just loves life. She takes every day it's gonna be the best day ever.
Sporting pink socks, headbands, and a flame of confidence.
Haslett on 3, 1, 2, 3, Haslett, hey!
The Vikings clinched the first set 25-21 on a St. John serve. Lane Valley sets it and Sarah Schmidt kills it on the road. To honor Pringle, this October's breast cancer shirts were personalized with a football and a volleyball, the sports her kids played in high school. And for all who know her, Pringle is an inspiration.
She really just makes me want to have a good day every single day and make other people around me happy and just have everyone just be happy.
Happy even if things didn't go their way. St. John's won the second and third sets 25-18 and 25-17 and topped the night with a fourth set 25-11 victory to defeat Haslett 3-1.
I think that we let the errors consume us tonight, so our goal from here on out till districts is to work on that and gain our trust back.
It was a loss on the court, but an ace for cancer awareness. And like we showed earlier, Haslett continued the pink out at the football game, honoring those who are fighting, those who won, and those who unfortunately lost this battle. It's a great cause to be celebrating.
Fantastic cause, and great to see all that action done this past week.
Definitely.
Well, this week on Be the Referee, we've got untimed downs. High school and college, what does that all mean? Let's see it.
Welcome to Be the Referee with MHSAA Assistant Director Mark Ewell.
A few weeks back, the Central Michigan and Oklahoma State game generated a lot of conversation about the playing rules of when any period gets extended with an untimed down. Many times announcers will wrongly talk about an accepted defensive penalty then means that the offense gets one more snap. Under high school rules, whenever there's an accepted penalty on the last play of a period and that penalty is accepted, there is one untimed down. The only exceptions to this, just like the college rules, are those penalties that also bring about a loss of down.
Thanks, Mark. You can be a referee. Go online now to MHSAA.com to register. Thanks for listening. I'm John Johnson.
Oh, it's dandy that Be the Referee. You know, Maya, I think you've seen enough of these now. You too could be a referee very soon.
Maybe I'll just switch paths, and go the referee route. It'll be
I
fun.
hope so. Well, I think you've got the potential.
Oh, thanks.
Well, now on to our All Access Sports Player of the Week. And this week, it comes in a big game, the CAAC Gold Cup title game.
Incredible performance.
I'm just going to say it right now. It's East Lansing goalie Scott Campbell. Scott Campbell with a fantastic night all around. Now, this game was so close. He needed to make every save that he did. Those amazing moves, that little spike to put the ball away, a dive. Just wonderful, wonderful moves from Scott Campbell all night. He wins this week's All Access Sports Player of the Week.
Congrats, Scott. And we got more soccer heading into these next few weeks.
So much
Starting
more.
this week. Coming up this week, we've got districts. Haslett will play on the 19th on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Okemos, if they win tonight, they play on Thursday, October 20th at 3 p.m. Okemos football has their final football game this season against East Lansing this Friday at 7 p.m. And don't worry about Haslett this week unless you want to make a long trip to Petoskey on Friday. It's a long way, though.
I mean, I want to.
Yeah.
But it takes time and miles, and I don't know if I can do that to my car right now. It's breaking down. Anyway.
Oh, no.
That's all for this edition of All Access Sports. I'm Chris Ryan.
I'm Maya Sanchez. Don't forget to follow us online at HOMTV.net, Facebook, and Twitter. We'll see you next time.